Hi everyone, it's Jessica here, and oh boy, do I have a story for you today. You know those moments in life where everything seems perfect on the surface, but underneath there's this brewing storm of secrets and lies? Well, buckle up because this one's about the time my so-called best friend turned my world upside down with a betrayal that still gives me chills. It's got drama, heartbreak, a killer twist, and yeah, a lesson that changed how I see trust forever. Let's dive in. It all started back in college, my sophomore year. I was living in this tiny dorm room in Boston, juggling classes, a part-time job at a coffee shop, and what I thought was the start of a real adult life. That's where I met Sarah, my roommate and instant bestie. She was the kind of girl who lit up a room, bubbly, always up for a late-night adventure, and she had this way of making you feel like you were the only person who mattered. We did everything together, study sessions that turned into gossip marathons, weekend road trips to the beach, even matching tattoos on our wrists that said "Sisters for Life." Corny, I know, but at 19, it felt unbreakable. Then there was Alex. He was this charming guy from my psych class, tall with that effortless smile and a laugh that made my stomach flip. We started as study buddies, but it quickly turned into something more. Dates at hole-in-the-wall diners, walks along the Charles River, whispering secrets under the stars. For the first time, I felt like I had it all, a solid friendship and a guy who actually got me. Sarah was thrilled for us. She'd tease me about how perfect we were together, and even planned our first big date. Or so I thought. Things started getting weird about 6 months in. I'd notice little things. Sarah borrowing my clothes without asking, which was normal, but then she'd wear them on nights out when I was stuck working. Alex would cancel plans last minute, saying he had family stuff, but his stories never quite added up. I'd brush it off because, hey, life happens, right? But deep down, this nagging doubt crept in. You know that gut feeling, the one that whispers something's off, but you ignore it because facing it would shatter everything. One night, I came home early from my shift. The shop closed due to a power outage. The dorm was dark, but I heard giggles from our room. I figured Sarah had a guy over, so I tiptoed in quietly, not wanting to interrupt. But as I cracked the door, there they were, Sarah and Alex, tangled up on her bed, laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. My heart stopped. I mean, literally, I froze in the doorway, phone in hand, unable to breathe. They didn't even notice me at first. When they did, the room went silent. Alex stammered some excuse about "it just happened," and Sarah, she just sat there, tears in her eyes, saying she was sorry but that she'd fallen for him too. I didn't scream or throw things like in the movies. I just grabbed my bag and left, walking aimlessly around campus until dawn. The betrayal hit like a freight train, not just from Alex, but from Sarah. She was supposed to be my ride or die, the one who knew all my insecurities, my dreams, everything. How could she do this? I replayed every moment in my head, the times she'd encouraged me to open up to Alex, the double dates we'd planned. Was it all a setup, or did it really just happen? The next few days were a blur. I crashed on a friend's couch, ignored their calls, and barely ate. But here's where the psychology kicks in. I started analyzing it like one of my class projects. Why do people betray those they love? Is it jealousy, opportunity, or something deeper? I remembered reading about cognitive dissonance in psych, how people justify their actions to avoid guilt. Sarah probably told herself it was fate or that I wasn't right for him. Alex, maybe he was just weak, craving the thrill of something forbidden. But I wasn't going to let this define me. Instead of confronting them dramatically, I decided on a different approach, one that was calculated, empowering, and yeah, a little petty. I waited a week, then invited Sarah out for coffee, acting like I wanted closure. She showed up nervous, apologizing profusely. I listened, nodded, and then dropped the bomb. I'd recorded a voice memo of their excuses that night. Okay, maybe not my proudest moment, but desperate times. I didn't threaten to share it, I just played it back for her, watching her face crumple as she heard her own lies. I said, "This is what betrayal sounds like, but I'm not going to spread it. I'm letting it go, and you, because I deserve better." As for Alex, I ghosted him completely. No explanations, no second chances. Turns out that silence drove him nuts. He blew up my phone for weeks, begging for forgiveness. But by then, I'd channeled my pain into something positive. I threw myself into my studies, joined a therapy group on campus for dealing with trust issues, and even started a blog about navigating relationships. Anonymous at first, but it blew up among my peers. Sharing my story helped me heal, and it connected me with others who'd been through similar hell. The twist? A year later, I ran into Sarah at a mutual friend's wedding. She was alone, looking lost, and confessed that things with Alex imploded after just a few months. He cheated on her, too. Karma, right? We didn't become friends again, but in that moment, I felt pity instead of anger. It taught me that betrayal often says more about the betrayer than the betrayed. They're the ones stuck in their own mess, while you get to move on and grow. Whew, that was intense, wasn't it? Life's full of these plot twists, but they make us who we are. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to StoryLife for more. I've got plenty more where that came from. Drop a like if you've been through something similar and share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.